Hello and welcome to bmclounge.com. This is Lounging Around, a series of videos that talk about the project management industry as a whole. So if you're preparing for your PMP exam as such, these videos are not going to help you out. But if you want to understand where the project management industry is heading towards, then you should watch our Lounging Around videos. And I'll share a link to the entire playlist of all the videos that we have done so far in this series. So check out the description, the link will be there. You can go over the videos. In this one, we are talking about 5 future trends in project management. What can you foresee when we talk about the project management industry? So let's start off with trend number 1. Fully remote project teams. We have all seen this happen over the past few years. Now, due to the circumstances that developed since 2020, companies have had ample time to rethink their work from home policies. And we are now seeing that companies are hiring people that can work totally remotely. So there are remote positions open. You don't have to go to the office any day of the week. It's totally remote. You could be in a different city, in a different country, working for a certain company because it is a remote job. So fully remote project teams is what you can expect in the future. Remote work is definitely here to stay. And we as project managers, we need to find ways of reducing friction between the project team members, right? We need to make sure how we make their work more efficient. Now, one of the questions that you can ask yourself while planning for team resources on your projects, because when you're planning your project, right, you're doing your project planning, you will obviously be planning for team resources, physical resources, right? So when you're doing your planning for team resources, you should ask yourselves, is it possible to improve your projects by bringing in freelancers or remote workers? Because fully remote project teams are definitely going to be a reality if they are not already a reality on your projects right now. So you should think about the possibilities of including remote workers, including freelancers, if that is going to improve your projects, right? And if the answer is yes, if you based on your analysis, the answer is yes, then you should not hold back. You already have the technology that is needed to manage projects with fully remote project teams. So go for it. This is a trend which is here to stay. Number two, let's talk about an increased dependency on project management tools. If everyone's remote, then obviously your tools need to be at par. Your tools need to meet the requirements of having remote teams. Now, these tools, they could be anything, right? They basically help you organize and execute the strategy behind your projects, behind your programs, behind your portfolios. They can also be used to manage various tasks that are related to getting your projects done. So as the world changes with the rise of artificial intelligence and machine learning, project management will definitely be affected by the need to collect and analyze vast amounts of data. Now, exactly how all of this is going to play out, that is difficult to predict, but most experts, most industry experts are going to agree that this is something unavoidable. We will have to get used to the new project management tools out there. We will have to get used to how best we can utilize them to deliver our projects. Quick reminder about our free training program, PM101. It features PMBOK 7. So head over to pmclounge.com/PM101 PMBOK 7 and check the entire program out. Everything's free. Number three is the understanding of different types of soft skills. Now, as a project manager, you are obviously expected to have good soft skills. You're obviously expected to have good communication skills because that is something that is a must for your job role, and that is something that you do all day long. And as project managers, you are typically required to have a certain level of expertise in various areas of operations, right, in order to be successful in their roles. But right combination of soft skills, that is something that you must have. Now this is something that is required to effectively manage people and produce best results that you will ultimately lead to the success of your projects, right? So first and foremost, the ability to communicate expectations, that is something which is very, very important, especially in these times when people are working remotely. To be able to communicate the expectations that you have from your project team members, that is something that is going to take you way far ahead. And then obviously you need to work well with all the parties involved, and there are other soft skills that are going to help you in addition to communication skills uh, to achieve all of this. One is empathy, then it's decision making, leadership. All these are critical to projects success. Now a project manager who has these kind of abilities, they play a critical role in improving the entire team's performance as both a model for behavior and setting the tone for the kind of workplace culture you are inculcating. Now, here are some tips, right? You should not make assumptions about what others are thinking and feeling. You should encourage discussions and be open to new ideas. Again, you can encourage employees to be themselves. You can ask them to contribute to project planning, and you should ask them to express their personalities. That is how you are going to understand who your project team members are and will be able to show empathy, right? You should connect on a deeper level with individual team members by asking questions about their life outside of work. This is, of course, a double-edged sword. You should, first of all, keep your biases away when you are talking about someone's personal life. And secondly, you should also be able to make out if this is something that they are comfortable in discussing, right? You should learn how to resolve conflicts. Conflicts are inevitable. You should, when you are resolving conflicts, you should focus on making progress and not on whose fault it was or who won or who lost, something like that, right? Also, you need to be open to feedback. You can always learn and improve, so be open to feedback. Keep your mind open, and these are the kind of soft skills that you need to have in the future as a project manager. Next is emphasis on avoiding physical and mental stress. Now, considering how team members are in a totally different environment with the constant or semi-constant disturbances because everyone's working from home these days, you should avoid physical and mental stress because that is going to become a large part of keeping employees happy, healthy in your team. So some of the ways that you can achieve this are you should set clear expectations with goals and deadlines. So everyone on your project knows what they are working on, why they are working on it, what are the goals, what are the deadlines that they are after, right? So this will also allow your team members to focus on the things that actually matter. Secondly, as a project manager, if you have the authority, you should offer schedule flexibility. Because of work from home, everyone wants to work more flexible hours, right? And I know offices are opening up, but still, if you work in the software industry, in the IT industry, you know that uh, most of the companies are still flexible, and that is where, as a project manager, you should see if it is possible for you to offer your employees, your project team members, not your employees, but your project team members to be able to work more flexible hours. And it is important that you let your team members, your project team members, you allow them to work without monitoring them too often. You should also make fitness part of your project team, right? Now, if there is one thing that the world has learned after 2020, it is that the health is the most important asset. So, as a project leader, as a project manager who looks after his or her team, you should encourage your project team to make fitness maybe a part of the day. You can also look at the project budget, and you can also look at the possibility of allocating some monetary budget to the dedicated to health, right? You should also offer more praise than criticism. Remember, no one's in office, everyone's working remotely, everyone have a lot of things going around them already. So as a project manager, you must recognize the efforts of your team members timely, and not just at the end of the project, right? So small things like making a small announcement about team members achievement during a weekly team meeting, that is going to do wonders. And even a small acknowledgement of someone's hard work, you never know how their day has been, because they are located remotely, so you never know how their day has been. And a small acknowledgement, right, of someone's work, that can also make a big difference in their day. So these are the kind of things that you can do. These are some of the tips that you can follow to avoid physical and mental stress. And finally, continued focus on agile. Agile is here to stay. Not just in the IT and software industry, different industries are now looking into ways of how they can incorporate agile. Even PMP is reportedly even more than 50% agile now. So if you're now not on board with agile yet, you should definitely not miss the bus. Get trained in agile and introduce it in your projects. Make sure your project team members understand what agile is, because that is definitely the future. So those were the 5 trends that we foresee in the project management industry. Is there something that you would want to add to this list? Let me know in the comments. Definitely looking forward to your answers. And that's all that we had in this video. I hope you got value out of it. Like, share, subscribe. If you like our work, consider contributing at pmclounge.com/contribute. Also, don't forget to check out our website for more such content. pmclounge.com, your number one free PMP and project management resource. Thank you and have a nice day.